You're about to discover what I've learned in my first year on being a YouTuber. I guess that's what it's called, a YouTube YouTuber. And I'm gonna tell you the lessons that I've learned. I'm gonna show you the money that I've earned and what that looks like for me as a business. Because I've been on YouTube for 16 years, but I didn't start doing YouTube as a YouTuber until April of last year. And the lessons I've learned have been monumental to the degree where we earned last month $49,000 and change. Just the money YouTube paid us to send us clients. So just let that sink in, because here we go. So what have I learned? First thing I learned was, in fact, I'm gonna tell you the genesis of this whole thing. I got signed up on YouTube March 15th, 2007. And I got signed up because my nephew saw a video on YouTube and he created like a reaction video to that video, and he got like 50,000 views in 3 days. I'm like, what is that? And then I started creating some videos, just putting some stuff out there. My videos didn't have titles, they didn't have thumbnails, they didn't have editing, they didn't have production quality. I was just being a talking head. In fact, I have some videos, maybe not from 2007, but I got some videos from before 2010 on YouTube right now. I'm pretty sure that you can go and watch, and they weren't very good. But I was doing YouTube. Now, started March 15th, 2007. I went to a mastermind in October of 2021, and there was a guy there, his name's Darrell Eves. And his name is spelled D-E-R-R-A-L, and last name is E-V-E-S. And Darrell wrote this book called The YouTube Formula. But I didn't know he wrote a book called The YouTube Formula. He was just talking about YouTube. And he was like the brain trust behind the film series The Chosen. And he was telling me about all this, he was telling everybody in the room about all the stuff that happens that YouTube can do, and how this film series was the most successful film series, crowdfunded film series in history. And I thought, that's interesting. But the thing that he said that got me was, he said, in the last couple of years, we've sold $29 million worth of swag alone. Hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies. From a YouTube video? I was so confused. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? And so he got done talking, and he gave us all these different stats on all these different YouTubers and all this different stuff, and I'm like, that sounds amazing. And so I went to Russell, because he was speaking at Russell's Inner Circle. I went to Russell and said, Russell, I need to talk to that guy. He was backstage. I need to talk to that guy. I got to give him some money. So eventually, Russell worked it out, because he and Russell had a meeting, and then after that, he let me go back and talk to him. I said, do you have a coaching program? He said, yes. I said, can I pay you for it? He said, it's $15,000. I said, can I write you a check right now? And I wrote him a check. Now, I'll say this. We hired him as our YouTube coach. It changed everything. The dude is a genius. And we've taken his YouTube coaching program, and we've read his book, and everything that he teaches in the course, for the most part, is in the book. Like, if you read his book and you do what it says, your YouTube channel will be a success. Like I'm not endorsing him because he asked me to. He doesn't even know I'm saying this. Right? I'm just telling you, if you want to make money from YouTube, get the YouTube Formula book, read it, do everything it says, even when you think you should do something different, and you're going to get paid. Okay, now, having said that, he taught us a lot of things about thumbnails and titles and the YouTube algorithm and how to use YouTube Studio and turning on monetization. Like when we first turned on monetization in February of last year, Zach is a person on our team. He said, I'm going to turn on monetization. I said, okay. He came back the next month. He said, well, we made $305 on YouTube. I said, for what? We didn't do anything. We literally had not even put up a new video since June or July of the previous year. For what? He said, because you have videos on YouTube. Okay. Like, I didn't understand it. It didn't make sense. The next month he came to me and said, we made $353 on YouTube. I'm like, what are you talking about? Made $353 doing what? Because we still hadn't put up any new videos. Like, we started coaching with Darrell in January. Darrell said turn on monetization, because I already had 40 videos out there. They didn't have very many views. They weren't very good. They were just there. He turned on monetization. Our very first month, with zero attention or intention, just push a button, click a button, it's on. They started sending us money. Then, so that was February, March. April 1st, 2022, we started creating YouTube videos. Now, so April 2021, we made $1,470 something. We're just going to call it $1,400. I'd rather say less than more. Okay? May of I said 2021, 2022. 2022. May 2022, they paid us. Are you ready for this? And I'm telling you this for a reason, because how many of you would like to get paid from YouTube every month? They give you a direct deposit every month of hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. Who would like that? Okay, cool. So are y'all okay that I'm talking about this? If yes, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so we did one video a week in April. One video a week. That's what we were doing. We were doing one video a week. One vid per week in April. We stepped it up a little bit in May because we saw the only video we did was our Bible study. We were doing our Bible study anyway. We just turned the camera on. So that's the clue number one. Do something you're going to do anyway and do it in front of a camera. Now, we should have already learned that from Rachel Ray, right? She's like, how many of y'all can cook? So why are you not millionaires? Because you forgot to turn the camera on, right? Any homemakers in here who love to bake and love to sew? Anybody like that? Well, okay. But if you're watching on YouTube and you love to bake and you love to sew, why aren't you a billionaire? See, we already learned that from Martha Stewart. Turn the camera on. We learned, hey, you're curious and like to ask questions? We learned from Oprah Winfrey what? Turn the camera on. Like this, we could call this video just turn the camera on. Like, do the stuff you're going to do anyway and turn the camera on. Like, you work on cars? Great, turn the camera on. You're a plumber? Great, turn the camera on. You're an electrician? Great, turn the camera on. Like, whatever you're doing anyway, especially if you're doing something that already makes you money, turn a camera on, it'll make you more money. How's that? That's a pretty cool concept, right? Just turn the camera on. You sell insurance, you sell real estate, you sell financial services, you sell cars. Turn the camera on. Okay, I know I'm fussing at y'all a little bit, because y'all was looking a little hard-headed at first, okay? Okay, turn the camera on. So, month number two, okay, so this is where our intentions start. We weren't just doing YouTube now, we were doing YouTube with intention, right? Our intention started April of 2022, May 2022. They didn't pay us $1,400, they paid us $15,000. And I said, what? I said, what? What? And then June 22, they paid us $27,000. Are y'all listening now? Do I have anybody's undivided attention? Okay, then, as if that ain't bad enough, in July 22, they paid us $44,000. I'm ecstatic, but I'm confused. All I'm doing is stuff I was doing anyway, but what I do? I turned the camera on. Now, in August, we made a mistake. See, I ain't just going to tell you about the good stuff. What did I do? We started another channel for running ads to retarget people who had already watched our videos. So retarget means you ever watch something, you go to a website, and then all of a sudden you start seeing ads for that website? The reason you're seeing ads is because they retargeted you. Right? They're saying, if somebody comments or if somebody watches X amount of time of this video, then retarget them and then show them my ads. We started buying ads on Google, and guess what happened? They started turning off our organic traffic. So we went from 44,000, 2022, then it went down to 27,000 again. And then after that, it went down again, I think like 18,000. And then I found out that running ads on Google when you have organic growth is a mistake. And so we turned it off, but it was too late because it kept going down. And it got all the way down to where, I think it was January of this year, it was 14,000. In January of 2023, 14,000. And then February, it was only 10,000. But then it started going back up again. Like April of this year was 29,000. And then May of this year was 49,000. All of what I just said, even though I'm living it like right now, and on the 22nd of every month, YouTube puts money in my account to the tune of thousands and tens of thousands of dollars, it doesn't make sense. This sounds crazy to me. Now, if it sounds normal to you, then you're way different than me, because it sounds crazy to me, and I'm living it. Okay, now, why did I show you all that? Because before I start telling you what I've learned, you have to care. You have to care enough to pay attention to it. And so I am telling you, and by the way, I did not start out, I did not start out with a goal of, I'm going to make 10,000, 20,000, 40,000 a month on YouTube. That was not a goal. I didn't have a goal. I had zero, my monetary goal was not, I didn't have one. I had an activity goal. I had an action goal. I did not have an outcome goal. I had an objective goal. So what was my objective? My objective was to consistently do, at least when I started YouTube, this was my objective, to consistently record and post one video a week, one really, really good video a week for 10 years, no less than 10 years. I don't care if I make any money or not for 10 years. I don't care if I get any subscribers or not for 10 years. I don't care if we get any following or not for 10 years. I don't care. Because I know that if I do it for 10 years consistently, if I'm not good, eventually I will be good. How many of y'all tracking? And I also know that it's probably not going to take me 10 years to get good. Some of the skills that were necessary I already had. I didn't have all of them, but I had some of them. And I decided, I said, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to make sure that I don't overestimate what I can do in a year and underestimate what I can do in 10 years. Because there's nothing that I've done in my life more than likely cost me more money than overestimating what I can do in a year and underestimating what I could do in 10 years. And so you do it for a year and it doesn't pay you what you thought you'd make, and then you stop doing it and you don't like stay in it for 10 years long enough to get good. And so, like, I'm not telling you on YouTube right now, I'm not telling you do a video a week. If all you can do as far as a good video is concerned, do one video a month, but it's good. Do one video a month, release it on the same day at the same time every month. Consistency. YouTube will reward you for consistency. So that's the first thing I learned. I'm going to be consistent. So here's what I'm going to tell all of you. This is almost so foolproof, like I can't imagine it not working for anybody. I can't imagine what I'm about to tell you not working for anybody. Make a decision that you are going to be consistently uploading a video to YouTube at least once a month, better like once a week, but at least once a month, a really good video, that you're going to do that for 10 years regardless of outcome. And if you will stick to your guns, in 10 years, you'll probably have at least 1 million subscribers. But here's the good part. The 10 years is going to go by whether you do it or not. So you might as well do it. How many of y'all tracking? Wave at me if you're tracking. Wave at me. Okay. So here's what we want to do. Here's what we want to do. We want to decide that we're going to do a YouTube video. Here's what you have to have. So here's what YouTube, I'm going to tell you what, if you give YouTube what they want, they will give you what you want. What does YouTube want? YouTube wants two things. They want people to click on videos, and they want people to watch those videos for a long time so they can serve ads on those videos and charge the people who pay for ads. So if I help them do that, they're going to help me get everything I want. So y'all tracking. So YouTube wants two things. They want clicks, and they want watches. Not like Rolex watches. They want people watching. So clicks and watches. That's what YouTube wants. You get them to click based on the thumbnail. If you want to know how to make good thumbnails, go get the book by Darrell Eves, The YouTube Formula. I'm going to tell you some stuff I've learned about thumbnails that aren't in the book, but stuff that I figured out because communication, teaching, selling, marketing, all of that stuff is my jam. Okay, so watches, you have to actually be good. What does that mean? You have to say something people want to hear, not just something you want to say. And one of the reasons a lot of people don't do well on YouTube is because they're talking about what they want to talk about instead of talking about what people on YouTube want to hear about and they want to see about. Best success advice I can give anybody on any subject, in any arena: become obsessed with other people's success, and whatever that looks like to them. Become obsessed with their results. Become obsessed with their payoff. You want to go get a good job for a good company? Tell them what you're going to do for them. Don't ask them what they're going to do for you. You want to get a bunch of clients? Tell them how you're going to fix all of their problems. Don't be looking at them as a fix for your problems. It'll change the game for you. So, clicks and watches. Now, here's I'm going to give you some of the things that I figured out about thumbnails. We're going to talk about thumbnails first. So a thumbnail is it's what you see when you go to YouTube. So I'm going to go to YouTube and I click on somebody's channel. I'm going to click on my channel, YouTube channel. So the picture with the words, right? The picture with the words on it and the face, that's a thumbnail. So when you make a thumbnail, a couple things you want to do. Number one, you want to pick whatever yours is, you want to have some kind of brand color so that all of your thumbnails look similar enough, so that without having to read it, the people who love to hear you know it's you. Does that make sense? Everybody got it? Let me hear you say I got it. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to have a thumbnail. On the thumbnail, you want to have, for the most part, no more than like the top of your shoulders up to the top of your head. You want enough of your face, right? Like you're looking at my face right now. Like you want to see some eyeballs, right? Right? Because eyeballs are attracted to eyeballs. Now, here's what you want to be looking at. You either want to be looking at the camera, or if the words are over here, you want to be looking at the words. Because eyes go where eyes go. If you go downtown and you're standing on a street corner, you start looking up, other people are going to start looking up just because you're looking up. Because eyes go where eyes go. It doesn't, even if you're not looking at anything. They're going to be looking for what you're looking at. Even though you're not looking at anything. So they're not going to find it, but they're going to look anyway. Okay, so a couple things about thumbnails. Now, so I was a senior pastor for a year. I was an assistant pastor probably for a couple of decades. I was a traveling evangelist for probably 7 or 8 years. So I've spoken around the world in churches for a long time. And here's what that meant. Here's what that means. Like I had to come up with sermons and sermon titles every week. So I am very good at coming up with titles that are engaging. So this is what I'm about to share with you is not something that I learned from the YouTube formula. This is just something I've learned from decades of experience communicating with people. Okay, so when it comes to the titles, okay, and then we're going to do thumbnail titles. So this is thumbnail. The thumbnail title, I guess thumbnail is one word. So thumbnail title. Now people think I'm talking about Tennessee. The thumbnail title, okay, a couple things. It needs to have some components. Okay, component number one. Okay, so let's think about who this is for. Let me ask you all a question. Are there more people who watch YouTube who know who you are, or more people who don't know who you are? Don't know who you are. That's right. So since there are more people who don't know who you are, you want to make your titles for the people who don't know who you are, not for the people who do know who you are. So even though I'm creating videos that my subscribers would like, when I create the thumbnail, my objective is not to attract a subscriber, because if they've hit the notification bell, they're going to get notified anyway. So I'm creating the thumbnail to attract a scroller. Does that make sense? Okay, so it needs to have some curiosity. Now, there are different ways to create curiosity. You could ask a question. You could do some suggestology, like say every word at the beginning of a sentence, leave the last word off, and let them fill in the blank. Okay, that's suggestology. You could do that. Or what I like to do, one of my favorite ways to do this, is by using a question word. Use a question word to make a statement. Use a question word to make a statement. What does that mean? So it means why you wake up with a headache every Friday. But I'm not asking you a question when I use the word why. I'm making a statement that causes you to ask yourself a question. Our top performing video is called Why Evil People Are Rich. It has 2.7 million views, and it's been up for a year. It was a year, May 18th, right? 2.7 million views. If every video you put out got 2.7 million views, you'd be in YouTube hog heaven, right? So use a question word to make a statement is by the way, you don't have to use all of the things I'm about to show you, but if you combine a couple of them, you're going to get more clicks than if you don't, Okay? So you want curiosity. Number two, you want to have some contrast. Some contrast. What is contrast? You're showing polar opposites of something. Why evil? Oh, evil. Okay, what's the opposite of evil? Good. So I'm making you think about good versus evil, and I'm only using one of the words, right? Why evil people are rich. What's the opposite of rich? Poor. So I'm making you think about rich and poor without having to use both words. You say, well, Myron, that's a lot. Well, it's kind of a lot, but it's way easier than digging ditches and hammering nails and driving people's stuff around, right? So, like, the only thing more amazing to me than what people will do for money is what people won't do for money, right? Like, people will ride bulls. I went to a rodeo. They got on a wild bull. They got on the bull and thought because they had a helmet on, that was going to do something. That's a bull. Okay. Okay. Like, I just kept, like, I had to turn away. The bull starts going crazy. I'm like, the only question, why would you do this? Why would you do this? This is insane. Why would anybody do this? Why would anybody do this? But clearly they would, and I paid to watch him, and then didn't look. Like, what's my problem, right? Okay, so you want to have some contrast. So, why evil people are rich? Why evil people are rich? When I say why evil people are rich, it causes you to ask yourself the question, why are evil people rich? And then I'm contrasting evil people with good people. And by the way, so here are some of the conversations you might have when you read that thumbnail. Who are these evil people? Are evil people rich? Evil people aren't rich. Rich people aren't evil. Why is he saying rich people are evil? I'm not saying that, but I'm telling you, these words cause people to start doing mental gymnastics. So they can't, and guess what? Because the thumbnail creates the environment, the thumbnail title creates the environment on which they're going to answer the question, but it doesn't ask the question. So since it creates the environment that causes them to ask themselves the question, I didn't ask them the question, they asked themselves the question, so now they cannot go away without clicking the thumbnail. They have to click. So I gave YouTube the first thing they wanted. Now I got to say something that's going to cause them to want to stay engaged. So, by the way, this next thing I'm about to tell you is something I just discovered with the last video we did. And that is, and Marima told me about this. I don't know where she's back over there. But Marima told me about this. And she showed it to me. She sat me down and showed it to me. She said, look at this. You see this? Do that. Okay, got it. She didn't say it like that. She said, look at this, do this. Right, okay. But I'm like, okay, what am I looking at? And she told me. And I said, okay, I get it. And so I remember that I also saw that Evan Carmichael had a video that he said do the same thing, but I didn't really, you know how people give you all this stuff and then you get some of it and some of it you miss? Well, this was part of it that I missed. And here's what she said. These videos are doing the best. This is the thing they have in common. Now, let me ask you a question. Notice what I just did. I didn't tell you what the thing was. I just told you what the thing did. So now you want to know what the thing is. So now you have to keep watching. Right? So I'm not just creating curiosity in the thumbnail, but I'm creating curiosity as I'm teaching the content. Okay, so here's the thing. She said, these videos are our best performing videos. Here's what they have in common. 75% of people are still watching after 30 seconds. That right there, game changer. If you can get 75% of the people to be still watching, 75% or more of the people to be. Now, our average on our videos, one of the reasons our channel is doing so good, so just so y'all know, in full disclosure, one of the reasons our channel does so well is because 70% of our viewers at the 30-second mark are still watching. 70 is good. 75 is the algorithm's hungry, and I think I found a good lunch for it. So what I did after she showed me this, she showed this to me this week. So after she showed it to me, I literally went home and I worked for an hour and a half to 2 hours for the first 30 seconds, on the first 30 seconds of the Bible study that we did on Wednesday. And then, because I got it figured out and finished it that morning right before I got started, I almost had it memorized, and I fumbled through it and messed up the formula in the beginning the first couple of times. But it didn't matter. It still worked. Like, I didn't even do it all the way right, and it still worked. And the video we just did is the highest performing video in a short period of time that we've created since we've been on YouTube. Is that crazy amazing to anybody besides me? Okay, cool. So contrast. Now, I also have conflict. And the conflict is us against them, evil against good. So it's not just the contrast of the evil and the good, it's the conflict between the evil and the good. It's not just the contrast between the rich and the poor, it's the conflict between the rich and the poor. And then the last thing that I want to make sure all of my thumbnails aren't going to have any of all of my thumbnails are not going to have all of these. All of them are going to have some of these. Are y'all tracking? Okay. The last one is controversy. And I may not even spell that. Controversy. So what does that mean, controversy? I want to make sure that I'm making a controversial statement. Now, here's what's challenging. We live in an era where people are so offended, right? You hurt my feelings. Grow up. You have to be willing to stand on what you believe to be true, because anything that is for everybody is also for nobody. Your titles need to repel your audience that's not ideal as much as it attracts. I'm not saying intentionally offend people. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about intentionally not being wishy-washy so you don't offend people is always a mistake. Are y'all tracking? Like, stand your ground. Be you. Be 100% unapologetically you. Okay, now, so controversy is, well, Myron, who makes you the judge of good people and evil people, right? Oh, you think you're all that because you're rich. Like, people are going to have those kinds of attitudes. I don't care what kind of attitude they have. Just have an attitude enough to watch the video, even if you want to argue with me. Please, a negative comment? Oh, please leave a negative comment and increase my engagement. Your haters are your elevators. Now, if somebody wants to come onto one of my YouTube videos, I'm going to tell you right now, if you come on my YouTube videos and you leave a commentlopedia, you say, what's a commentlopedia? It's one of those really long comments where they want to teach their philosophy to your audience because they don't have one. And you know they don't have one because every time somebody leaves a commentlopedia, what I do is I go look at their channel. 12 years, 4 subscribers. Hide user from channel. So that way they can keep commenting and I still get the benefit and nobody else sees it but them. Okay? So, I'm not going to respond to haters. I got this from Dr. Darius Daniels, one of my faves, one of the best communicators I know. Here's what he said. He said one of his mentors told him a long time ago, when you got haters, do not respond to them. He said, but you don't know what you're saying. I know what they're saying, but it don't matter. He said, when a dog barks at the moon, nobody looks. But when the moon starts barking at the dog, everybody looks. Be the moon, don't be the dog. Ain't that good? And so you want to have some curiosity, you want to have some controversy. Now, so your thumbnail needs to be solving a problem for somebody somewhere in the world. It needs to imply that you're going to somehow solve this problem that they have. Okay, so now we talked about thumbnail titles. Now let's talk about the actual video title. Because the video title is going to be very different from the YouTube title. So this is to answer Deborah's question. You don't want the YouTube title and the thumbnail title and the video title to say the same thing. If you do, you're wasting real estate, right? What you want to do is you want the YouTube title, the video title, to clarify the thumbnail title and intensify the curiosity, the contrast, the conflict, and the controversy. That's what the title does. For instance, on our video, Why Evil People Are Rich. The subtitle is, Why God's People Are Broke. Wake up, people. So what did I do? I clarified the thumbnail title and I intensified the curiosity, the conflict, and the contrast. So the video from yesterday, this video went up, I said yesterday. Okay, so the video from 2 days ago, by the way, so I'm going to say this. There's an advantage and a disadvantage. Every advantage has disadvantages. Every disadvantage has advantages. So this video has 40,000 views. What says 38,000? Maybe it's 38,000. Okay, so one of the things that happens when YouTube counts the views that you have on a video, so it's got 36,000. This video has it's different on YouTube. It has 38,000 views. And the thumbnail title is Destroyed by Distractions. And if you haven't seen it, you want to go watch it. It's really that good. Okay, and then the video title is Don't Let Your Distractions Destroy Your Destiny. See how it intensified and clarified the thumbnail title. Okay? So, like, the thumbnail title is going to give them a quick, synopsis, the Cliff Notes version of the title, and then the title magnifies it. So here's what else is interesting about that same video. That video, the first day it was up, so Wednesday, it only shows me the first day because your money is 2 days behind, right? So like YouTube shows the money 2 days after the video shows, okay? So the video from Wednesday is only showing how much money it made Wednesday. So the Bible study that I did Wednesday has already generated $554.51. So when you think of it like that, a video now becomes an asset. What is a video on YouTube anyway? It's an attention. I just made this up just now, like literally while I was standing in front of you. It's an attention asset. Now, here's what's interesting about an attention asset. They work just like actual assets. So if a person is investing over time with compound interest, right? Compound interest is a two-way street. Like if you put money, what's compound interest? It's where you earn interest on the interest and the principal, not just on the principal, right? So the rule of 72 tells us that if you take a rate of return and you divide it by 72, whatever the answer is, that's how long it takes for your money to double. So the bigger your money gets, the bigger it gets over, that amount gets, the bigger your amount of money is, the more money that makes over time. So compound interest is like a snowball rolling down a hill. Well, videos on YouTube are compound interest, but not interest like money interest like attention interest, like they're interested in your videos. But the interest of your audience compounds over time. Are y'all tracking? Which means every video is an asset. So I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to give you another example because we have a video that went up 21 days ago. And you got to understand, the money is not up to date. It's 2 days behind. How much money this video is making is 2 days behind. Is what I'm saying, are y'all tracking? Okay. And I know this is not all excited and blah, 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 but it's good. So we have 2 videos in a year. So this is why I'm telling you, give it 10 years. Like I'm fairly decent at communicating and I'm fairly decent at teaching and I'm fairly decent at coming up with titles. And in our first year, we have 2 videos that have gone viral. By viral, I mean like a whole crazy bunch of views and we have 3 videos that went viral. One of them was our TEDx talk that was on Ted's channel, but they took it down because the TEDx host that we did had some problems with TEDx. They took all of his videos down and mine happened to be one of them. So we put mine back up on our channel. It's doing really well, but it's not doing as well as it did when it was up on Ted's channel because it got like over 1 million views in 5 months. So we're not going to count that, but we've had 2 videos. The Why Evil People Are Rich video, that video went viral and had over 1 million views. Well, it had over 2.7 million views in the first year. So that's a lot, okay? But we have a video that's even on track to do better than that one. This video has been up for 3 weeks, okay? It went up May 12th. So today is June 2nd, okay? So 21 days ago. And here's how much money that video has made. Are y'all ready? I'm not ready. Okay. So that video has 835,000 views in 21 days. That's what I mean. One video can monetize you. 835,700 views in 21 days. It has 77,800 watch time hours. It's gained us 31,000 subscribers from that one video. Now you understand why I say one video can get you monetized if it's good. Okay, so here's the rest of it. Here's the rest of the story. That one video has made us $12,053.14 in 21 days. And barring a catastrophe or me getting canceled on YouTube, that video will make me money every day for the rest of my life. It's an asset that you create once and it keeps on paying you. Why wouldn't you do that? People talk about passive income. Now that's passive. I created that video one time. I don't even remember what I said. I do not remember what I said. But guess what? I don't have to because YouTube remembers to pay me for saying it. So I'm going to create a title. And when I create a title, the title is going to add clarification and it's going to intensify the title the thumbnail title. If you will read the YouTube formula and you will apply what I just taught you to the thing that you're already doing anyway, but you're going to do what? Turn the camera on, right? But it's going to take all this time for me to create this YouTube channel. Like, turn the camera on. You got to drive to work. Maybe you don't want to do it while you're driving. Take an Uber to work, turn the camera on. You're going to read a book. Like literally, you're going to read a book. Like, I know this sounds ridiculous. I'm going to read a book. So I'm going to create a video. And I'm going to read a book I'm going to read from Boss Move's book. I'm reading Myron Golden's Boss Move books. I'm just sitting down to read it right now. I'm just telling you I'm sitting down to read it right now. I'm going to take notes on the things I learn and the thoughts I think while I read the book. I'll report back to you all in a few minutes. Boom, that's the first cut. You read the book, you take your notes. Okay, these are the lessons I learned. I read 10 pages. These are the lessons I learned. I hope this helps. Not teaching the book, teaching what the book made you think. I'm not saying that's what your video needs to be about. You're doing the thing anyway. Turn on the camera. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to give you all a list of videos of mine to go watch so you can model them. First and foremost is the video that we did, that I just told you about, that we did a couple of weeks ago, and it's called, the video that went viral, it's from 21 days ago, it's called The Poverty Programming Trap. That's the title of the video. The thumbnail title is How They Programmed You to Be Poor. Notice, I use a question word, how, but I didn't ask a question. So if I say how they program you to be poor, now you got to ask yourself a couple questions. How did they program me to be poor? Who are they that programmed me to be poor? Why did they program me to be poor? See, I'm making you have a conversation with yourself with my thumbnail title. Anybody can do this. By the way, do you understand that if I wanted to, by the way, let me tell you, I'm going to tell YouTube right now so y'all know. All y'all folks watching me on YouTube right now, you know I'm done. No, I'm telling you because I already told them. They already know. I am going to create a course on how to create, insanely valuable YouTube content, and I'm going to sell it for $150,000. And people will buy it. And then I'm going to coach them for a year. And then I'm going to take the people that I coach for a year, and I'm going to take them with me on trips on private jets and on private yachts, and I'm going to teach them why we're on private jets and why we're on private yachts. We're going to break down their YouTube channel. You say, well, why are you telling us that? What I'm doing is I'm handing you the keys to the castle. Now, if you don't want to go in, that's on you, but I ain't going to come open the door for you. So I'm going to give you a couple of videos that you really probably would do well to go watch. I'm going to give you 5 lives and 5 videos that you need to watch. Okay, so most viewed. Okay, number 1 most viewed video, recorded video. This is the 5. I'm going to give you our top 5 recorded videos that we've done. I'm going to give you the top 7 because all of these videos have at least 200,000 views, and only one of them has been up for more than a year. So thumbnail number 1, How They Programmed You to Be Poor, The Poverty Programming Trap. Watch that video. Take notes on that video. Take notes. Don't just take notes on what I'm saying. Take notes on what I'm doing. Okay? Number 2, How Rich People Think About Money. So I'm going to do the thumbnail titles because they're shorter. So How They Programmed You to Be Poor. That's thumbnail title number 1. Thumbnail title number 2 is Rich People Do This with Money. That's a 12-minute video. It has 542,000 views. It went up a year ago. How to Get Rich, 555,000 views. It went up 10 months ago. No Limits, it has 378,000 views. It went up 1 month ago. The Secret to Selling Without Selling, it's a 12-minute video. It's got 293,000 views. It went up a year ago. It's Easy for You to Get Rich, thumbnail number 6. That went up, I'm so embarrassed now. And I don't even get embarrassed, but I got embarrassed over that because I just noticed it. This went up 11 months ago. It's got 264,000 views. And then the No Thumbnail video, it has no thumbnail. That's why I said I'm embarrassed. I didn't realize it has no thumbnail. But the title of the video is Selling Made Simple, How to Sell Anything to Anyone. It went up 8 years ago. It's got 206,000 views. So that's the top 7 recorded videos, okay, on our channel. Here are the top 7 live videos. Sort by most viewed. Okay. Wow. Top 7 most watched live videos. Why Evil People Are Rich, 2.6 million views. Why People Are Poor, 325,000 views from 1 year ago. Both of those are from 1 year ago. Broke to 12 million. That's the one I did with the interview with Keenan, 261,000 views. That's from 11 months ago. Big Banks, Small Houses. That's the one I did with Marvin Mitchell. 11 months ago, 236,000 views. Why a Rich Man Can't Enter Heaven. That's the one on the camel in the eye of the needle, what it's really teaching. And there are a lot of people who are confused by that. But this is what it really means. I did the word studies on it. So when people say, but the Bible says it's easy for a rich camel to go through the eye of a needle. Yeah, but the difference between me and you is I know what it means because I looked it up. Okay? Why a Rich Man Can't Enter Heaven. 186,000 views, that's from a year ago. How the Law of Attraction Really Works, what the Bible says. How the Law of Attraction Really Works, that's video number 6. That's 187,000 views from 10 months ago. And then God Doesn't Care About Success, that's 177,000 views. It's 11 months ago. And just so y'all know, when it says God doesn't care about success, all I'm doing is saying what somebody said. I'm not saying God doesn't care about success, so I start the video. People say God doesn't care about success. Well, doesn't he? And here's why. And then I go out to prove why he does, right? So, and it's not clickbait because people say that. It's not my fault. They assumed. Anyway, you get it. Hopefully this helps you with your YouTube channel. And I'm going to say it one more time. Turn the camera on. All right, be blessed. I'll see you all in the next video.